If I'm standing naked, you would never know, besides the scars, that I had a mastectomy. I don't have scars anywhere across the front of my breast in any which way whatsoever. If you are like most of us and you were deciding on a mastectomy or not, you probably Googled mastectomy.
While everyone that comes up is beautiful, these are not the only options when it comes to a mastectomy. This is also a mastectomy. This is my mastectomy. You don't see this when you're searching on Google.
I'm here to tell you and literally to show you that if you don't choose that path, you do have other options. Hi, I'm Stephanie, Relentless Sister in Pink, and I am here sharing my journey with you so that I can show you your superpowers. Now, again, those women are beautiful. I'm not knocking any of that, but I want you to know that there are more options than that, and that's not what a mastectomy looks like. This is what a mastectomy looks like. I did not want to be a science project. What do I mean by that? I did not want to be poked and prodded. I did not want to be asked to have scans all the time. I did not want to be having continuous mammograms. I did not want things to look suspicious and then now I need an ultrasound. I did not want things to look further suspicious and then I have a biopsy. Don't get me wrong, all of those things could still happen with the bilateral mastectomy, but I felt like that would be the best option for me. I opted for what's called a deep flap and reconstruction along with the bilateral mastectomy at the same time. It is a really long surgery. My surgery was 12 hours long. I woke up and literally felt whole. Like I woke up and felt completely whole with what I was given. I never had the flat stage. I never had to do fillers. I don't have any implants at all. They made it from my body parts. I was able to get a nipple sparing mastectomy. So what they did is they cut the nipples and put them on the table, and then they did the mastectomy, and then they, like I said, they reconstructed from there. My mastectomy surgeon, he was actually on one side doing the removal, and then as he moved to the other side, then the plastic came over, reconstruction, and he started then working on that. That led to me waking up with fullness and wholeness. Now, I didn't have, even with the 40 pounds, a ton to pull from, so they did liposuction other parts. So I basically had, and I'll share pictures, I basically had cut from here all the way to here, you can see where the breasts are, and then cut at the abdomen, and they used skin and fat and tissue from the abdomen to then completely build out the breast. Here's an added bonus. I actually was able to have much more to work with after chemo because chemo caused me to gain 40 pounds. Thank God for that 40 pounds because I would not have had things for them to grab onto and to pull from in order for them to do the reconstruction without having implants. If you had large breasts like I did, they were uncomfortable, or maybe your back hurt, maybe it was just really difficult to find clothes that fit, you're going to understand where I'm coming from. Another reason why I felt like the double mastectomy would be better for me was because I could actually have my breasts removed and I could have them rebuilt with smaller breast versus the larger breast. Oh my gosh, what a different world and a better world for me with much smaller breast, like dramatically smaller breasts. It is so awesome. I can fit in so many more outfits. I feel so much more comfortable in my body. And I even look smaller, even though I'm now the same weight that I was the week before diagnosis. But because I have so much smaller breasts, I actually even look smaller than I was. Typically with this type of surgery, you'll end up with something that they call like dog ears, right? Because like the first phase, they can't really, I don't know the explanation right, but they can't really get everything just right on the abdomen. And so you'll end up with these little dog ears on the side, and you come back and you have your second phase reconstruction. They do the best with what they have to work with, like completely the best with what they have to work with. And so for me, when we did the second phase reconstruction, they adjusted the breast. I'll explain that in a second. They couldn't get the dog ears to lay flat like they wanted. I actually I'm cut around the entire circumference of my body, and that was just how that kind of worked out. Unhappy about that. I'm not ungrateful for that. I'm very grateful at the miracle of what they have put together and pieced me back together and what I was left with. So this was a shocker, even though they told me it would happen. I had my left breast, which that was the breast that had the diagnosis, and I also had it radiated. With the radiation, it does tend to defy gravity. So this breast likes to stay like right up where it's supposed to be. But the right breast, which was not radiated, does not defy gravity. And so with that first surgery, everything was amazing and perfect and beautiful. And then as time went by and gravity kicked in and you move around, you have life, things like that, the right one did slump a little bit. I'll share a picture of that as well. And so what they did in the second phase reconstruction, that's one of the things that they did, is they went ahead and rebalanced that out. Now, when we did the first surgery in the first place, he did tell me, hey, I've got this one breast a little bit higher because of the whole gravity situation with the radiation that I mentioned. Now, I did have lymph removed. The doctor that I went with, he likes to go double. So if you have 6 that are positive, then he'll take out 12. And I believe and I really support that method that he uses. It makes me feel very comfortable. And I had about 12 to 14 lymph nodes removed on the left side. Now you have to think, it had been a really rough road to this point. A diagnosis that I completely did not expect. Most people don't, but you'll see in some of my other videos why I really did not expect the diagnosis. And then having to have chemo and radiation. I'll explain that in other videos as well, but I chose to have that for mine. And going through that and feeling really torn apart, right? And really down and really sad. And they have those moments and you go through all these processes on the journey. So to wake up and be whole, feel whole, and here there's no evidence of disease. It's oh my gosh, you just can't understand. You will if you're there one day. But it's just like, it's a feeling like no other. It's just something you can't understand until you're in that moment. I will be continuing my series on They Told Me, so please be sure to tune in for those. And I invite you to be a part of this community if you feel called to do so. Whether you are a survivor yourself or you've been touched by breast cancer, this is a sacred space for you. This is not just about my journey, it's about how we come together because we are not meant to walk this path alone. Remember, there is life beyond the diagnosis. Until next time, sending you so much love and light.